You would direct it through the training board, right? Not the
No, mine's the bill that doesn't go through the training program. And so basically what's going on today, I'm told in Washington, D.C., is that the Chicago gun ban is under consideration by the court. Oral arguments took place today. So given that, there's a lot of uncertainties about which direction the state is going to head based upon what the Supreme Court rules. If the Supreme Court is consistent with the Heller case with the D.C. gun ban, then it's likely that they'll strike down the Chicago gun ban. And then I think that even further opens the door for concealed carry. Illinois, as people know, is one of only 2 states in the United States that does not have some form of concealed carry. It would not create a Wild West type situation. It would be a very stringent process to try to get a concealed carry permit. Not everyone is going to be able to do it. It'll be very difficult. You'll have to go through a background check. You have to go through a mental check. You'll have to go through a training process. You have to go through a written test. You have to go through a field test. And then in addition to that, if there's some other reason that someone knows that you probably shouldn't have a concealed carry permit, that could be taken into consideration as well. So I think we've taken a lot of precautions, a lot of safeguards. This has worked in other states. The Constitution, I think, guarantees our right to do this. And so hopefully the Supreme Court of the United States will rule in that favor in the near future.
What is it about Illinois that's prevented the legislature here from ever coming to grips, coming to an agreement on who should carry a gun and who gets to say if they get to carry that gun?
Well, I think the state, one of the great advantages, benefits, wonderful things about our state is how different areas are. You know, we have the second or third largest city in America, and then we also have rural areas. We have southern areas, we have northern areas, we have midwestern areas. And so it makes us great, but at the same time, it also creates differences in these various regions on issues such as guns. And so people that grow up in rural areas like myself, Southern Illinois, have different attitudes towards firearms than people that, say, grew up in Chicago. And those are instilled, you know, it's just from a very young age. And so you have a lot of conflict and basically a standoff here in the state legislature where you have X number of legislators that are pro-gun, X number of legislators that are pro-gun control, and then a few that are in the middle that kind of bounce back and forth, and they generally decide what bills get passed and what don't.
There are a number of proposals, all of them in some form of commitment. One would allow state's attorneys to carry a gun, another prison workers, another would allow for maybe a test pilot program in the city of Peoria. Is that how the state is eventually going to settle this issue?
No, I don't know that. You know, you're talking about chipping away and piecemeal proposals. I've been supportive of those in the past, but ultimately, I think that the National Rifle Association has taken the position that it's an all or nothing in terms of we need this for the whole state. I don't know why anybody running for office downstate would want to have the ability to carry a firearm when the other people that they represent don't.
Last question. You're head of revenue, right?
Yeah.
Chair of the Revenue Committee. What have you seen about the Quinn budget? What do you expect? Are the numbers worse than what you had expected?
Well,
have you read any of the comments on the online site?
I think a lot of times that Governor Quinn is kind of shown as taking ownership of the budget. I don't refer to it as a Quinn budget. He's playing the cards that were dealt him, which are horrible. And so I don't think anybody in a perfect scenario obviously wants to cut programs. Nobody in a perfect scenario wants to raise taxes. The governor has tried to set forth on a course that he thinks is prudent to try to get us out of a mess which he inherited. And so I know he's got different proposals that are floating around. He's put revenue proposals out there in the past. He's put cut proposals out there in the past. But those are just the reality of the time in which we live. And I don't know that where we're going to end up, to me, is clear. I feel like that I can't really see the end of the road yet. Although there's a lot of discussion, there's a lot of things that are going on. There's some good things that are happening. I chair the Revenue Committee, and right now we're sitting on, tens of hundreds of really good ideas that cost the state money, and those aren't moving because we can't pay for what we have now. We just don't have the money to start new programs. So that's going on a daily basis, and people are looking for ways to be more efficient. with state government. So there's some good things happening. Hopefully it all comes together before the end of the year and we're able to put something together that people can live with.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank